So I'm in an Uber with Luke and we are on our way to, the Uber was just about to crash. Hang on a second, there's a slight.
There's an issue with the black taxi. Right.
So Luke and I are in an Uber right now and we are on our way to Shoreditch, which is the other side of London, and we're on our way to a meeting with a really big charity to discuss their creative output and how they can do better creatives that will help them in their mission to change the world in the way they want to change the world and raise and fundraise. So Luke and I have just been discussing creative trends on the social landscape and what we see working content-wise, because obviously we've got a presentation that we're gonna show to them, and we're gonna show them the types of content that we know work really well in a social landscape and spread fast. So let's discuss some of this.
I think the challenge that we are having is doing something that we feel is creatively valid and interesting and deserves time and attention, but then also is going to get viewed because it's currently like on a trend to, you know, people like that kind of content or like that kind of style. It's like trying to write a pop song that also wins like a critical award. Do you know what I mean? You want huge, fast exposure, but also you don't want to do something.
You don't want to just write the Macarena,
you know?
right?
You don't want to write the Macarena.
No. So how do you do something?
I wouldn't have minded writing.
Yeah, I mean, actually, to be honest, you do want to write the Macarena. And itsy bitsy teeny weeny.
You want to write like a Beyonce song, basically.
Yeah.
It's #1 in the charts and it wins awards for being a good piece of music.
But what are the main things? So we were just discussing and I suddenly said, oh look, we need to record this, we need to record this. What are the main creative trends we see in terms of, I mean, the first one, should I go first?
Yeah, you go first.
Okay, the thing that I see, so I've just been preparing my Caught My Eye, Made Me Cry ad review of the week, and the clear winner on all ads and native content is real people. Like, it's just all about real people. So any ad that is doing well and spreading, getting loads of reach and shares and performing well features real people, like real customers, regular folk. It's like gone in the models, even influencers are gone to some degree. So in terms of this charity,
they're becoming micro. They're
becoming more micro. So it's not like you don't have to have the biggest influence, you just have to have a real person, someone who's real and engaging. So in terms of this charity, all charities have amazing stories featuring real people, because that's what they do, right? They help real people. Yeah. So you have two groups of stories you can feature in your content. First of all is the stories of the people you are helping, and second is your team. So the on the ground, what do they call them, frontline team who support those people in need. And any content, what I would love to do is make a ton of content for this charity featuring those real stories. So over the course of the year, do 52 real stories of people the charity's helping, all of which are profoundly moving, because every charity does good work. And the real people who basically dedicate their lives, they're kind of like unsung heroes. It's the sort of charity equivalent of firemen and policemen who go out every day on the street and don't earn good money, and nurses, they go out and they're not massively highly paid, but they dedicate their lives towards helping other people, and the team that works for any charity is that type of person. So that's the first one, real people. It's
like a transition from that is making like micro documentary pieces that translates information you'd usually get in a 45-minute piece into a 3-minute video online, right?
Yeah.
But people have the ability now to consume that content that quickly, that much information, because we're so used to consuming so much content, we're quite practiced and good at it.
Yeah.
So you don't need a 45-minute indulgent thing. I think the other thing as well, and the interesting thing when it comes to like these micro documentaries that people like Vice and Unilad and all those people do, is that the thing that differentiates it, because when you talk about charity stuff and real people, like, it's dangerous sometimes, because you don't want to like, you don't want to be gimmicky with it. You don't want to make it kind of like poverty porn.
Poverty porn, yeah. All charities are really cautious about that.
And it's like, so it has to be, like, I think authenticity is just the answer to that, basically. It has to be super authentic what you're doing, and that's why real people is another great thing, as long as you're portraying the truth in it, and that's the difficult bit, it's like finding the ultimate truth in it. Is if it's real people, it is automatically authentic. If it's a documentary, there is authenticity to it. As long as you're not going in there with a kind of bias of something you want to show, and you're just showing what you're going to show and let the viewer decide, then that's authentic. And that's how you kind of, that's how you avoid it becoming like a kind of trash magazine piece, but online. Do you know what I mean? By making sure that people are actually, just that it's real.
But it's so true about the micro documentary. Like the other night, I watched something and I can't remember what it was. It was something like the story of the Titanic or the story of Queen Victoria or whatever. Anyway, it's the sort of thing that I would have previously have had to endure like a half an hour documentary, and I was like, brilliant, got it in 3 minutes, and it actually.
People will, but people will say that you're not really. Then you're just getting like a really micro snapshot picture. What I would counter to that is that it's like a kind of, but those things are like gateways, right?
Yeah.
You watch a 3-minute thing. it's meant to capture your interest enough so that you keep researching and doing something about it. For example, if we make a 3-minute video, a 1-minute video about something, like for the charity we're going to go talk to now, the point is not to watch the video and then sign off and go, well, that was enjoyable, I've learned something. The point is to watch the video and then go and do something. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? Go through to a page where you act and like commit something to, you know, helping someone or doing something. So, or
stay engaged with the charity so that when it comes like this, so this charity has a massive influx of donations around Christmas, and that's one of their main times that the camera's gone really dark. What do I do? We're under a bridge. Here we are. So that's one of their main times is Christmas. It's probably the main time for every charity, Christmas donations. So like, how can you keep people engaged all year so that they're so involved, so that come Christmas, they give their charity donation, or they say to their friends, don't give me Christmas presents, just make a donation to my favourite charity, and my favourite charity is, and think of this one. And
that's another like pro bonus to like short form content, is that you can, you know, that 45-minute documentary you can break down into consumable chunks, so that you trickle that out over the course of 6 months, and people are getting much more engaged because they're seeing something every week or every other week or whatever that they're constantly being reminded about and engaging with. Even if they don't act then and there, they're being engaged with it, rather than watching one piece of documentary that goes on for 45 minutes to an hour. They watch it, they get affected by it, they've probably forgotten it existed within a week. You can't show them another 45-minute documentary.
No, but particularly if you know, because also the other thing is when you get them trapped in a content sequence and they are stuck, right? Which is what we do. If you dare engage with anything or watch anything, you're then trapped in a content sequence, and that would be really effective, I think, for charities to just be able to know you can go back to your audience again and again and again. And saying trapped in a sort of content sequence makes it sound kind of like you know, a bad thing, but it's more like you've built an audience and now you have the power to reach them.
And it's not also, it doesn't negate the value in long form film and art and all that stuff at all. It's more like, what is the challenge of this? What audience do you want to engage with? What we're talking to these people about is a particular audience they want to engage with on a particular platform. The answer to that is short form, authentic, documentary style content. So that's what we're going to propose. You know, not necessarily because that's the answer to everything, because it's not, but it's like, that's, you know, the answer to this situation. So it's not really an artistic take on it, it's just this is what is happening, this is how you get people to engage with what you're saying.
Exactly.
So bright.